From Hollywood, it's time now for Edmund O'Brien as...
Johnny Dollar?
The Ambassador Travel Agency calling back, Mr. Dollar.
Oh, yeah.
Your reservation for Bermuda has just been confirmed. Pan American, flight number 134. You'll leave LaGuardia at 10:30 a.m., arrive at Kindley Field, Bermuda, 2:30 p.m.
Got it?
We'll send the tickets right over. It's been a pleasure to serve you, sir, and I hope you have an enjoyable stay in Bermuda. Is it a vacation?
Well, hardly. I'm going down there to look up a dead man.
Edmund O'Brien in another transcribed adventure of the man with the action-packed expense account. America's fabulous freelance insurance investigator.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar. Expense account submitted by Special Investigator Johnny Dollar to Tri-State Life Insurance Company. Attention, Leland Scarf, Chief Adjuster. The following is an accounting of my expenditures during investigation of the Earl Chadwick matter. Expense account item 1, $1.80, cab fare to your Hartford office.
The man has been seen alive, Dollar. I never was satisfied that he was dead. His boat, a small cruiser, was found wrecked, you know, but never a body.
How long ago was that?
A little over 4 years ago, 1945. He was declared dead in 1947 in appellate court, and we were forced to meet the claim of his widow. Or his wife and accomplice, as it might seem now. Go ahead. Here's the lady that saw and spoke to him. Mrs. Marshall, this is Mr. Dollar.
How do you do?
Mrs. Marshall?
Now, I want you to tell Mr. Dollar what you told me, Mrs. Marshall, if you will.
Well, my husband and I had been in Bermuda for 3 days.
Mrs. Marshall, explain that you knew Earl Chadwick before.
Oh, yes, we knew him. Not too well, thank heaven, but well enough to be pointed out as friends of that embezzler. You know how people are.
Embezzler, Mrs. Marshall?
Oh, yes, there was attendant theft. He worked at the Monticello Loan Company in New York City. $30,000 disappeared at the same time he did. Police theory was that he wrecked his boat while attempting to leave with the money. Now, Mrs. Marshall, how you happened to see him?
We'd been there 3 days, and that night we went to this nightclub in Hamilton, slumming, so to speak. It's called the Port of Castile on the waterfront. It had been a number of years, mind you, and Chadwick was much thinner, but I recognized him. He was seated with some sailors, and I said, "Jerome, doesn't that look like Earl Chadwick?"
And then you spoke to him.
What else could I do? I was dying of curiosity. When he got up to leave, I met him and said, "Aren't you Earl Chadwick?" He denied it, of course, but being that close, I'm positive that it was.
What did he say? Did he give you a name?
No, but I found out. I felt I was quite within my rights in asking a few questions. The name he's using is George Brewster.
Well, Dollar?
What about Chadwick's wife? What happened to her?
She remarried one of his business associates, Harold Anderson. Yeah. I had the girls draw up a complete record on the case. Photographs, police reports, everything you'll need. The wife's address is there in Queens, I think.
All right, Mr. Scarf. I'll do what I can. Expense account item 2, $250 plane ticket and miscellaneous expenses between Hartford and Bermuda. I drew an aisle seat and one of the worst hazards of air travel, or any other kind of travel.
I'll tell you something. It pays to study these places before you go to them. I've been out there before. Nothing teaches like experience. But before my first trip, I knew more about Bermuda than lots of the folks that live there, see?
Well, that's very interesting.
Yeah, yes, sir. Quite a history. Spoiled now, though. People aren't worth anything anymore. You know what spoiled them? Tourists. Yeah, took away all their ambition. Turned them into a bunch of lazy beggars and horse traders. Don't farm anymore. Don't do anything but work the tourists. Now, I don't want to be a wet blanket, you understand?
Oh, yeah.
But keep an eye on your wallet. They'll strip you if you give them a chance. My business is farm tools. What's yours?
Yes, sir.
My name is Dollar. Here's my credentials. I'd like to see the chief constable.
Yes, sir.
Yes?
Mr. Dollar to see you, sir, an insurance investigator from the States.
Yes, of course. Send him in.
Right, sir. That door, Mr. Dollar.
Thank you.
Pleasure, Mr. Dollar. Your company cabled that you were coming. Sit down.
Thank you.
Well, now, you're here to look into the affairs of one George Brewster. What's he been up to?
I'm not sure he's been up to anything yet. According to a witness, he answers the description of a man who disappeared from New York a few years ago with $30,000. He was declared dead, and the company that hired me paid off an $80,000 insurance claim to his wife.
I see. Quite a valuable chap.
Yeah, if he is the chap. What about this Brewster? Do you people know him?
We acquainted ourselves with him after the cable arrived. Nothing against him. Lives a rather rum life. Doesn't seem to have much.
Are his papers in order? Passport? Visas?
I trust that he wouldn't be here if they were not. Like any other paradise, Mr. Dollar, Bermuda is forced to accept the existence of a certain percentage of misplaced or lost persons on its outskirts. That's what they are.
They?
Here's the address.
Thank you.
At the lower end of King George Road. Do you wish transportation?
No, don't bother. The walk will do me good. I decided against the King George Road address. Instead, I returned to my hotel, memorized the photographs of Earl Chadwick, subtracting a little weight from the somewhat flabby face. And that night, I found myself a table near the door at the port of Castile. I sat there nursing a minimum of foul drinks. It was 10 o'clock before he came in and found standing space at the bar. George Brewster? Or Earl Chadwick?
What's the matter with you? What is this?
I'm curious, too. How about coming over to my table?
All right. You act like a cop.
Just 50% cop, no badge. I'm working for Tri-State Life Insurance Company.
What does that mean?
They insured a man and paid off to his wife. Now they are unsure he's dead.
He belongs to that other name you threw at me. What was it? Chadwick?
Earl Chadwick.
And I must look like him.
Here's a snapshot.
Huh. He's fatter, but it's pretty close at that. You know, about a week ago, some crazy old dame I never saw before called me some other name. It might have been Chadwick. I thought she'd drunk over her quota.
She was an old friend of Chadwick's. She swears she'd recognize him if she saw him. And she swears she saw him.
Huh. It's weird, isn't it? I suppose it happens more often than we know about. What do you want? My papers and stuff?
They might help.
Sure, I'll write down my address. Come on out anytime tomorrow. There you are.
Thank you. I should recover from these drinks by noon.
Well, that'll be all right. It's crazy, isn't it? Things like this could get your goat.
You the guy George was talking about last night?
Probably. I'm Johnny Dollar. Is George here?
No, he had to leave. He said you could come in. He said you could look at this stuff. Here's his passport and cards and things.
How long have you known him?
2 years last month.
You know where he came from?
Never asked me where I came from. This guy, he looks like. He had a wife?
Yeah. I want to take some of his personal things into town to check his prints against this passport. Shaving brush if he uses one, tubes, jars, anything.
You think he's the guy?
I'll have to find out.
Never mind.
You told me you were going.
The prince would check against the passport, but it wouldn't make any difference. Now that it's started, why stretch it out? Why not make it easy?
George?
No, Earl. I'd almost forgotten. Earl. Where can we talk?
I've got a hotel room. The statement he made filled in most of the blanks in the case. 1, his wife was to have met him in Mexico City, but hadn't. 2, most of the stolen funds had gone to his wife to keep her going until she collected the insurance.
So she got married. I didn't know that. She told me to wait, and I did. Grace married.
We can leave for the States
Grace
anytime
and
you're ready.
Harold. Huh? Oh, I can be ready anytime you say. All I have to do is pack a few things and say goodbye to Fran.
Expense account item 3, space for 2 on New York-bound plane. Chadwick was a hard man to figure out, but one thing I did realize. Now that he'd started, he was almost happy to be going back to the people he'd left. We arrived in the evening, and the next morning, I was told when I telephoned that Mrs. Grace Chadwick Anderson and her husband were at home and would receive me.
Oh, good morning.
Hello, Grace. Harold.
I beg your pardon?
I understand, Harold. This must be the man that Mrs. Marshall phoned about. You know, the one in Bermuda.
Oh, come now, Grace. That's no good.
Who are you, anyway? Mr. Dollar, for what purpose did you and this man come here?
I brought him here so you could identify him as your missing husband.
That's idiotic. There is the faintest resemblance, yes, but that's all.
What do you have in mind, Mr. Dollar? Now, no crude extortion attempt like this will get you anything but arrest. I know Earl Chadwick, and I'll swear under oath that this man is not he.
I should think you would, Harold.
Who are you, and where did you learn my name?
Get him out of here.
Why? Why not talk over old times, Grace?
Wait a minute. All right, Mrs. Anderson, Mr. Anderson. I'm sorry I've taken up your time. Come on.
Dollar, what's the matter? You two?
Come on.
I'm sorry, dear. I know it's been unpleasant for you.
Who do you think I am? I ask you, who do you think I am?
That doesn't count. You're legally dead. What about your parents?
They're dead. But I have friends or people that knew me.
They're no good. If your wife won't identify you, they're no good. You worked for a loan company. They must have your prints.
I took them from the files and destroyed them when I left.
How are your teeth?
What?
Teeth. Who was your dentist here in town?
Dr. Field. It's been so long. Dr. Homer Field. Drake, Professional Building, Manhattan.
He'll still have your x-rays on file. They're as good as fingerprints. Go there this morning. Don't use your name. Give him your other name, George Brewster. Have a new set of x-rays taken. I'll do the rest.
All right.
Hold it. And look, I don't have to hire somebody to follow you, do I?
No. Oh, no. Not after I've seen them. You don't have to worry about my going anyplace.
Expense account item 4, $25 services of a private detective. Assignment, tailing Earl Chadwick and/or George Brewster. At 1 o'clock, he had left the dentist's office and gone to his hotel room. At 3, he was still there. And at 4:30, I arrived in the office of Dr. Homer Field.
Brewster? Oh, yes. His x-rays have come through. They're on the clamps. Don't touch them, please. What is your interest?
Police identification.
Oh, yes. We're always happy to cooperate.
Thank you. Now, how about digging in your files for the x-rays on a patient named Chadwick? Earl Chadwick.
Yes, I'll be glad to. Let's see. Chadwick. Earl M. Chadwick, is that your man?
That's the name.
Well, 1945. Oh, he should have been in for hygiene.
Those pictures, how do they compare with this new set? Brewster.
Well, let's have a look. There's malocclusion, lower bicuspid, impacted third molar. Erosion inlay, very interesting.
You mean they're the same in both sets of pictures?
Oh, no, definitely not.
Oh. But a man's mouth could change since 1945, couldn't it?
Oh, yes, it could, especially with neglect, but that would never cause a man to grow new teeth. Now, you see here, Brewster has one more incisor than Chadwick. The whole character of the mouth is different, I see, here.
Yeah. I see. It's different, all right.
Definitely. These two men would not look even faintly alike.
In just a moment, we will return to the second act of yours truly, Johnny Dollar. But first, Down the old ox road, learn to croon straight from the shoulder. Milestones in popular American music. Milestones in the career of one of America's favorite troubadours, Bing Crosby. This Wednesday night, over most of these same CBS stations, you're invited to hear The Bing Crosby Show. Bing Crosby with the music of John Scott Trotter, with the Rhythmaires, with Ken Carpenter. Here's the show designed for the whole family. A pleasant and diverting mixture of music and merriment, guided by the one and only Bing Crosby. Plan now to hear The Bing Crosby Show this Wednesday night on CBS. And now with our star, Edmund O'Brien, we return to the second act of yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Look, Dr. Field, these x-rays labeled Earl Chadwick. Could they be misfiled? Could they be under the wrong name?
Misfiled? No, definitely not. My assistant has been with me for 10 years. Never made a mistake yet. No.
Well, then could anyone else have gotten in here and planted a different set under that name?
But why? I would realize the difference the moment I looked into the mouth. That erosion inlay alone.
Yeah, I know. Look, your office. Has it been broken into?
Yeah, a long time ago, for narcotics.
How long ago?
6, 7 years ago, during the war.
But not since then.
I've missed nothing.
The janitor, the nightman, does he have a key?
No. It's cleaned in the evening, just before I leave. Robbery is out of the question. Just what is your problem, Mr. Dollar?
Well, if I wanted to plant some x-rays in a file, where could I get some?
Well, I never thought of it. But...
Where would I go? Would you give me some?
Oh, no, definitely not. That would be most unethical, unless, of course, you were a patient of mine and the x-rays were of your own mouth.
Oh, thank you, Doctor. I think that's what I wanted to hear you say. Before dark, I made 2 more stops, searching for something to help me prove that Earl Chadwick was alive, if he was. The Hall of Records had nothing but a couple of certificates on him. One recorded his birth, the other recorded his death. I checked the whodunit file at police headquarters. They had checked him out in 47 when the court had pronounced him dead. On my way out of there, I made 2 phone calls. The second was to the detective I'd hired.
Yeah?
Landro, what are you doing in your office? Did you lose him or get tired?
He was on to me, Dollar. He got into the crowds at Macy's. I put the houseman at his hotel on it. He's watching his door.
I just phoned his room. He's not there. What's he been up to?
He left the hotel at 318 and took a cab over to 3rd Avenue.
What address?
A pawn shop, Johnny. He bought a gun.
Nice going, Landro. If you decide to change over to stopping traffic at school crossings, use me as a reference. Where's your husband, Miss Anderson?
He's here, but he
Come
doesn't
on,
want...
I want to talk to you both.
You have no right to come barging.
Where is he?
What is it, Grace? Oh, it's you again.
That's
He
right.
forced his way into the house. Make him get out, Harold.
I will if I have to. Now, look here. I don't know what that imposter has told you, and I don't care. If you choose to believe his lies, that's your business. And a sorry business it is. But I will not allow my wife and my home to be upset by his schemes any longer.
Are you through?
No, not quite. It's obvious to us, if it's not to you, that this man learned of the unexplained details surrounding Earl's death and is attempting to use this vague resemblance to his advantage. Now, extortionists land in prison, Mr. Dollar. And the only reason I haven't turned to the police before this is that we want to escape the notoriety of having past tragedies lived again.
He bought a gun this afternoon. That makes him look like the double-crossed husband, doesn't it?
The man's a maniac. I'm going to ask for police protection.
Where is he?
Who?
This man. Do you know where he is?
When I found out he bought a gun, I was afraid he was coming here to use it.
Harold, I can't believe this is happening.
Now, Grace, please. Why would he harm us? He doesn't know us, and we don't know him. He bought the gun to convince you, Dollar.
He knows a lot about you, Anderson. He knows you were Chadwick's immediate superior in the loan company before he disappeared.
Harold, it couldn't be, could it?
Grace.
It's been a long time. Maybe some disease could change a person that much. But he would have contacted
Grace.
me.
Earl is dead.
How did this man learn so much about us?
As far as I can see, he's made only one mistake. The size of the theft. He says he stole 10,000. According to the record, 30,000 was missing. Of course, it's possible that it isn't a mistake. That somebody in the firm who knew what his plan was picked up the odd 20,000 and put it on Chadwick's account.
Mr. Dollar, I have one thing to say to you before you leave. Earl Chadwick is dead.
You're so right. And that's what troubles me. A legally dead man running around loose with a gun makes an interesting situation. Did you ever think of that? Who would the police look for? I'm going to my hotel in case you want to phone in your answer. Where have you been, Chadwick?
Right here. The maid let me in.
What's the idea?
I was scared somebody was following me. I got the feeling they hired somebody to get rid of me.
No.
Why not?
I haven't thought of that yet. Give me the gun.
I need it.
Come on, where is it?
Never mind. Get away from me.
Come on, where are you carrying it?
Hey! How did you know I had it?
What were you going to do with it?
I told you I was scared. You thought I was going to kill them?
The idea crossed my mind.
No. What good would that do?
How should I know what's going on in that head of yours? Why'd you come back then?
Just to get things straightened out.
You wouldn't have had to. I haven't found a way to prove who you are.
Oh, I knew I didn't have to come back. But everything was stagnant. Being George Brewster was dull. I thought that's what I wanted. A new identity, even without Grace. But I guess nobody's ever satisfied. And when you have a choice of who you want to be, then it's really hard. What about the x-rays?
No good. The set under Chadwick didn't match the one you had taken today.
They had to.
They made a switch with somebody else's, probably Anderson's. It's an easy office to enter. Probably hired a cat burglar. Nothing at the Hall of Records, nothing at police headquarters. You're dead.
What did the police say?
I didn't talk to them. Why should I? The case is closed. You're dead.
Lazarus, come forth. And he that was dead came forth, bound hand and foot with grave clothes, and his face was bound about with a napkin.
Yeah?
Landro, Johnny.
Oh, yeah. Sorry I blew up.
Forget it. I lost him, didn't I? How is it?
Oh, it's a mess. I'm not getting any place. The only proof I can find is proof that he's dead.
Maybe he should stay there.
Yeah, I'm getting ideas myself.
What about his draft board? They take prints.
Police checked in 47. They lost. Look, I'm going to have to dummy up something. I don't want you to violate any trade secrets, but do you know a good forger?
That depends.
It'll be practically legal. All I need is a driver's license.
I think that can be managed, Johnny. When?
Tonight.
It'll cost.
Well, I'm working for a wealthy company. Oh, there's more, too, Landro. How about meeting us in your office in 45 minutes?
Sure, Johnny. Bring a bottle.
Expense account item 5, $500, one bogus 1947 driver's license complete with Chadwick's thumbprint. By 10 p.m., we were back in Landro's office.
Johnny, how desperate is this Anderson?
Desperate enough to welcome a nice, fast deal. Don't quote a price unless you have to. Just get him down here.
Why anybody goes through all this to make prison?
Prison?
Come on, Landro, get on the phone. There's the number.
You're my client. Mr. Harold Anderson? I'll be blunt. This is blackmail. I'm calling in the interests of Earl Chadwick. No, he isn't. He's alive. But I do have proof. A driver's license he took out just before he disappeared, as a sort of a double check on the past. You'll believe it when you see it. It's for sale. He doesn't want to go to prison any more than you do, but he needs money. I said you'd believe it when you saw it. I think it'll be worth a trip over here. We'll talk price then. We meet here. Number 465 Tide Building, 7th Avenue. It's no bluff. Nobody knows about it. I'll be alone. He doesn't believe it.
When'll he be here?
He said 45 minutes.
Good. Now, don't make the price too high. Set up a meeting with him tomorrow, and we'll have the police here.
Well, step forth, Lazarus.
Empty the ashtrays, Landro. Looks like 3 men have been here. He arrived at 11:30. Chadwick and I, in an adjoining room with the door cracked, watched his wary entrance.
Who are you?
The name is on the door.
Landro. You work under a license issued by the state of New York.
Sometimes, but the license isn't important tonight. You won't make any trouble. Sit down.
Well, Landro?
Here it is. Just look. Name, a serial number, a date, a signature, and a thumbprint.
Where is he?
He'll phone me in the morning.
Well, where's the man from the insurance company?
Looking for Chadwick. He doesn't know about this yet.
Why? Why has he waited this long?
He didn't know everything that had happened. You and his wife. The money you made on it.
What's the price?
Well, as he put it to me, it ought to be figured from the 20 grand you took and the advance you've made in the company the last few years.
How much?
He'd like to start at 15,000.
It would take a while.
5,000 tomorrow, say around noon. The other 10 within a week. That's when you get the license.
Well, it would have to be later than noon tomorrow, but I brought 1,500 with me.
That's a deal.
All right. I'll give it to you.
Hey, watch it. Don't do it.
Anderson.
Wait, Dollar!
Landro, down. Landro.
I'm all right.
Chadwick. 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 Pulse. Pull his collar down.
Nothing?
Nothing. I don't know what your company can do about it now. Both Mr. and Mrs. Anderson gave statements to the police that same night, confessing their contribution to the original crime. You'll have a hard time prying Harold Anderson loose from the clutches of the state, which is working on a murder indictment for him. About the wife, Grace, I don't know. If she's not found guilty as an accessory, I'd be happy to appear as a witness if she's brought to trial on fraud charges. As for my part in it, I'm not proud of myself, but I was hired to find a dead man, and I finally found one, just before he lived. Expense account total, $1,575.30. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar, stars Edmund O'Brien in the title role and is written by Gil Dowd and David Ellis, with music composed and conducted by Leith Stevens. Edmund O'Brien can soon be seen starring in the Columbia Pictures production, The Los Angeles Story. Featured in tonight's cast were Lillian Bayef, Walter Burke, Virginia Gregg, John Daner, Ben Wright, Tudor Owen, and Ted Osborne. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar, is produced and directed by Jaime Del Valle. Join us again next week at this same time when, from Hollywood, Edmund O'Brien returns in another transcribed adventure of
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Every Wednesday night, CBS brings you Groucho Marx with his brilliant quiz, You Bet Your Life. It's one of the brightest, most spontaneous, most genuinely funny shows on the air. So be listening this Wednesday night on most of these same CBS stations for You Bet Your Life, starring Groucho Marx. Stay tuned now for the adventures of Philip Marlowe, which follow over most of these same CBS stations. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
From Hollywood, it's time now for Edmund O'Brien as
Johnny Dollar.
Dr. Colby calling back, Johnny.
Oh, yeah, Frank. How am I?
Oh, you've fallen behind. You'll need boosters for diphtheria and smallpox, typhoid, cholera. And if we can find room, why, we'll bring you up to date on your tetanus.
Oh. Well, where do I get them?
We'll have it all right here in the office, or I can stop by on my way home.
Well, that's not what I mean, Frank. It takes a long time to get to Haiti, and those plane seats aren't very comfortable at best.
Edmund O'Brien, in another transcribed adventure of the man with the action-packed expense account, America's fabulous freelance insurance investigator.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar. Expense account submitted by Special Investigator Johnny Dollar to Home Office, America Federated Life Insurance Company, Hartford, Connecticut. Attention, Harvard Huntington, General Manager. The following is an accounting of expenditures during my assignment in Port-au-Prince, Haiti. Expense account item 1, $15 for a pair of tickets to Detective Story at the Hudson Theater, New York, which I never got a chance to use since I was seated in the library of your Hartford home promptly at curtain time.
Dollar, I want to thank you for coming out here. Sorry to break into your evening like this, but since I have, I'll get right to the point. Perhaps you've heard of the Gordon family here in Hartford.
Well, what I see of the society page is what I'm flipping back to the sports section, but I've noticed the name. Diamond-studded, aren't they?
Immensely wealthy. Pillars of society. And surprisingly quite a proper family. That is all but one of the sons, Ralph. A heavy drinker, complete wastrel, ne'er-do-well.
Oh, a blot on the old escutcheon, eh?
Yes, continually getting into one scrape or another. Now he's done it again.
I take it that you're not worried about Ralph the man, but about Ralph the policyholder, huh?
Yeah. Well, to put it bluntly, yes. I don't think it's unethical for a company to protect its interests. In this case, the policy is in the amount of $150,000.
Quite a piece of paper.
Yes. And to be quite candid, I rue the day it was issued. But the point is this. Ralph Gordon, at last report, is dying aboard his yacht at Port-au-Prince, Haiti.
Well, then you don't need me. You need the Mayo Clinic.
Dollar, I hesitate to even mention this in the presence of a sane man. But from everything we can learn, young Gordon is not dying from any known malady. He's dying as a result... Oh, it's pure nonsense. He's supposed to be dying as the result of voodoo curse. Now, anybody with any sense...
All right, wait a minute. Where'd you get your information?
From his older brother, Thomas. He's a doctor. He's down there in Haiti with Ralph. Now, I want you to go down and debunk this thing, Dollar. Find out what's wrong. Why, any sane man knows there's no such voodoo. You don't believe in it, do you?
No, not unless I see it working. Expense account item 2, $148.70, Hartford to Port-au-Prince via airplane. Expense account item 3, $32.50, tropical clothes. And item 4, $25 spent while I browsed the waterfront bars in Port-au-Prince, looking for somebody who knew where the Gordon yacht was moored. When I found him, he not only knew that, he knew everything.
It don't matter what you want to know about this blasted island. Ask me first. My name is Cap Regan, and I've been here since before repeal. Give up my citizenship, I did, with the help of a couple of prohibition agents. And I figure on sailing out my final days right here. What do you want with the Gordon craft?
I want to see the owner, Ralph Gordon. How do I get to it?
I reckon you pay me to row you out to her. My dinghy's down to the foot of the pier, just a short hail from where we're at.
Well, good. Come on, let's shove off.
Just wait till I down my ration here. That'll put me in ship shape. What'd you say you wanted with that schooner? You figuring on buying her?
Oh, thank you for the compliment. If I bought a boat today, it'd have to be a surplus life raft. I told you I want to talk to Gordon.
A friendly visit or the other kind?
Uh-huh. I'm beginning to see how you know so much about this island.
Well, never question, never learn. Remember that, Summy. This way, we veer off to starboard. Yes, sir. Never question, never learn.
Look, I'm an insurance investigator. A company sent me down here to look things over, including Gordon.
Something wrong?
I don't know yet. What do you know about him?
A jugful, Sonny, a jugful. Stood into the harbor about 2 months back. No sooner dropped his hook than his crew started taking the pierhead leap. Everybody jumped for the bosun, for reasons of his own.
What was the matter with Gordon?
He was half seas over all the time. And you navigate with sextant, a compass, and parallel ruler, sonny, not with a double shot and a water chaser. Get the drift?
They were afraid to sail with him?
Oh, that's the line of it. If you'd ever piled into a reef, you feel the same. Oh, yeah, here we are. Now, there's my dinghy down at the bottom of the ladder. And there's Gordon's yacht out there, you see her? The tug is passing astern of her now.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a lot of boat.
Yep, she carries a suit of sail like a grain clipper. Oh, why don't you see her close up? She's dirty as a garbage scow. All right, give her a hand now, sonny. You're close enough.
Hey! Anybody aboard? Hey, aboard the yacht. Anyone home?
Yes? What do you want?
If the ship was dirty, I didn't notice. It may have had good lines, too, but it couldn't have touched what stood still at the rail, wearing clam diggers, an off-the-shoulder T-shirt, and a Caribbean tan.
There's a trim for you. That'll be his wife.
Can I come aboard?
Who are you? What do you want?
I'm Johnny Dollar from Hartford. I want to talk to Ralph.
Oh. Why, yes, then. I guess you'll have to come aboard.
Yeah. I'll swing the stern of the ladder. There you be. Steady now.
Okay, Cap. You wait for me, huh?
Well, how are things in Ralphie's old hometown?
Cool, but not as cool as this reception.
Don't let it throw you. What is this, a friendly drop-in business or just plain snooping? It's the last I met Weena, the wife they haven't heard about at home.
Congratulations. Now I know why you like the way your shoulders bear. The better to keep a chip on them.
If you're through being sharp, I'll let you hear what's left of my husband. Come on, through here. Hey, Ralph. You got a visitor from Hartford.
Get away from this cabin, you gold-digging little chiseler. You take your visitor with you.
Well, there you are, chum. He's got the door locked. It'll stay that way till he runs out of wine. You heard enough?
Yes, enough to know how you acquired your charming attitude.
Forget it. I walked into it with my eyes wide open. Let's get back out on deck. The light's better for throwing barbs at each other.
Sure. Sounds like fun.
Well, do I have to help you off the boat?
Not until you help me by answering some questions. I'm an insurance investigator. I was sent down here by the company that holds a policy on your husband's life.
What should I do? Faint?
The story they got was that Ralph was dying from some kind of a voodoo curse. They don't believe it, and neither do I.
Why not? It might be true. Oh, some old guy, they call him Papa Luau, came out to the boat. He yelled some things at Ralph, and when Ralphie threw a bottle at him, he swore he'd put a curse on him. Hey, how did they hear about it back in Hartford?
Ralph's brother, Dr. Thomas Gordon, told them. You know him?
Yeah, we hate each other. I wonder why he'd tell them.
Well, maybe because he thought somebody who'd be better off with Ralph dead was using Papa Luau's curse as a cover-up. How would you stand as his widow?
Get off this boat. Get off.
What's the trouble, Eddie?
Oh, Em. Yeah, come here, will you?
Who's the boarding party?
Just get him off, Em.
Sure, honey. Well, mate, do you walk in or dive?
Save your strength for the last scene, Goliath. I was just leaving. Expense account item 5, $3 paid to Cap Reagan as water taxi fare. Item 6, 80 cents, land taxi fare to Hotel Francois. And up at the Hills hangout for not only the best in tourists, but also Brother Thomas Gordon, M.D.
Please make yourself comfortable. Could I offer you something?
Nothing but some brotherly advice.
Certainly. I feel like a stupid fool for not being able to handle this thing myself. So now that you're here, call on me for anything. First, have you seen Ralph?
I tried to, but he locked himself in his cabin. Tell me, as a medical man, how do you digest this voodoo curse story?
Why, it's ridiculous. Good heavens, this is the 20th century. I do think that science doesn't know everything it would like to know. Voodoo, black magic. There are stories, supposedly true, but any victim would have to have a highly susceptible mind. And I know my brother, Mr. Dollar. His mind is susceptible only to his own whims and fancies.
Then what's the matter with him?
That's it, I don't know. He's drawn within himself and seems to be searching almost insanely for escape through alcohol.
Hasn't anybody thought of putting him on the wagon? It's a horrible idea, but it works.
I don't think this is the time for it. He's suffering mentally and needs release.
Well, that leaves us only one thing to think about, and no matter how thin you cut it, it's still voodoo.
I'm a man of science, Mr. Dollar. I'd make hypocrisy out of all my knowledge and training if I attacked the problem from that direction. But, please let me know what you find.
Expense account item 7, $4, rental of horse and cart, in which my walking tourist guide, Cap Riggin, and I jolted out of town in search of Papa Loire. Something made me feel like I was riding my last mile in a tumbril en route to the guillotine. The moonlight was fighting a losing battle against an army of storm clouds that was sweeping in. And then to make it worse, I heard a drum.
Hear that, Sonny?
Yeah, sort of a tired Gene Krupa.
Means we're getting close to Papa's quarters.
Is he the only one around here?
Yep, none of the good Ogans performs in his territory. He's too mean.
Oh, great.
And that ain't no galley news, it's the truth. I tell you, there's lots of black magic, as so-called. It's nothing but tourist bait. But Papa, he's a genuine article. Let me tell you about one fella he loaded a curse onto. He was a native, and before he got through with him...
Cap, please. You keep your mind on your driving, and I'll keep mine on pleasant memories.
Well, I ain't got no more driving to think about.
What's the matter?
That's the path over there by that gnarled old tree. From here on, you plot your own course. This is close enough for me.
Me too. Say, wait a minute. How do I know I can't put a curse on him, huh? I never tried.
Smooth sailing, Sonny.
The path led along the edge of a field of sugarcane, and on the other side of me was a solid wall of jungle. First, I smelled some feathers burning. Then I heard the chant. There was a door in the wall of jungle that led to a small clearing, and before the moon was smothered by another cloud, I saw a shack. Smoke curled out through an open door, and I could see the glow of a fire on the floor inside. Hey, Papa! I want to talk to you.
Who is come to the house of Papua?
Well, my name wouldn't mean anything to you, but what I have to say will. Can I come in?
Entree. What are these words of so great importance as you wish to interrupt, Papua?
All I know about voodoo is that I don't believe it.
Legba. Legba.
I've come to you because I haven't got any answers from anybody else. I want to know what's behind this so-called curse you put on Ralph Gordon.
You not believe. You like me make you believe. Ralph Gordon, he died. Tonight, in the wind and rain. And for you, I have magic now. See my fire? You will believe the smoke. Now, believe!
I couldn't see what he'd thrown onto the fire. He'd reached behind him for it. But when the smoke from it whirled around me, it seemed to grab my throat and squeeze. I stumbled back through the door. I hadn't believed in voodoo when I'd come in. But going out, I wasn't so sure.
We will return to the second act of yours truly, Johnny Dollar, in just a moment. CBS invites you to hear one of the greatest ad-libbers in show business, Groucho Marx, this Wednesday night on most of these same CBS stations. Groucho's show, You Bet Your Life, finds the master throwing quips and questions at oddly assorted pairs of contestants. And it's one of the funniest, fastest, merriest shows on the air. Be listening when Groucho Marx comes along this Wednesday on CBS. And now with our star, Edmund O'Brien, we return to the second act of yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
burned. I staggered around in the heavy jungle air, and when I could breathe again, I gulped in enough to lift the Graf Zeppelin. When I got back into the shack, he was gone. He hadn't left much of what he'd smoked me out with, but he'd left enough. A few shreds of photographic film on the dirt floor. And film made of cellulose and nitrates not only takes pictures, it puts out nitric oxide and nitrogen dioxide when it's burned. A combination that would live up to the demands of any gas chamber. We headed back to the yacht, and this time I boarded without a hail.
I'm telling you, Em, we can't go on with this.
Well, this tops it. You having a change of heart.
Well, that's what happened.
I'm not so sure that makes any difference. Maybe you're in too deep to back out. How would you like it if I spilled the whole thing?
Oh, what difference does it make? It'd be better than landing in a Haitian prison with your motives showing.
Think it over, Angel. I'll be in my sack when you make up your mind.
Em, how wrong you can be.
See you later, huh?
What are you doing on this ship? Get off.
Oh, no. Not after that intriguing conversation I just heard.
How much did you hear?
If I added it to the gas assault Papa Luau threw at me, it'd be enough to nail you and Loverboy here for conspiracy to commit murder.
I don't know what you're talking
The
about.
point is, I know what you two were talking about.
Listen to me. You've got to believe me.
I don't have to, but try me anyway.
I admit that Em and I... Well, I did get involved with him. It was because Ralph turned into another man after we were married.
This probably marks the first time in history that an icicle melted in Port-au-Prince.
Please, let me finish. When my marriage went to pieces, I had to do something or go crazy. To see Ralph drinking up all the champagne on the island was just more than I could take. I was going to divorce him and leave with Em, but we weren't going to murder him.
You know, Chapter 1 has so many holes in it, it could have been printed by a punch press. You don't worry about landing in prison with your motive showing when all you're planning is divorce.
You do when people are waiting for your husband to die under mysterious circumstances. That's why I was trying to make Em go away. If Ralph died, who would look any farther than the erring wife? Unless Em was hiding something.
Can you lock this cabin from the outside?
Yes. What are you going to do? You aren't going to lock me in here.
No, just your playmate. You're coming with me.
Where?
To Papa Luau's. I want to hear what kind of a story you tell in front of him.
You don't believe me.
No. With $150,000 at stake, I don't even believe myself. There's a shack. You go in first. May not be heroic, but it's the best way I can think of to catch his reaction when he sees it. Come on, go ahead. Go on in.
Who is it come to Papua's door? Who are you, woman?
Well, Mr. Dollar, are you satisfied?
Not quite.
And you did not believe. Why you are here? You wish again to see the power of my smoke?
Let's just drop the act, Papa. I know what you threw in the fire.
What's my Bokor smoke? You not yet believe?
A good man from a police laboratory can sift enough out of those ashes to know it was film.
What is this you say?
I say that I've got enough on you, you old fake, to put you in the local pokey.
Who dare speak thus to Papua?
And that's where you're gonna go if you don't cooperate. Now, that's a promise.
What is it you want?
Did somebody put you up to this cursed business that Ralph Gordon is supposed to be under?
A man of your race. Now go. That is all.
It's not enough. What was his name?
I not know the name.
What did he look like then?
My eyes were closed.
Nuts. Come on. I'm taking you into town if I have to drag you by the hair.
No, don't touch me. I will tell you how this is. It is true, I do not know the name or the face. He come to me. He ask me when comes next rain and wind. I tell him last night. But it's tonight. The storm come with the seat. He tell me he needs storm to close portholes in the ship. He say, if I bring this curse, I will be best hook on it because it kill what man? That is difficult. That is all. Now you go.
How about the film for the fire? Did he give it to you?
That is true. Not long before you come.
Well, get rid of it, Papa, before you lose your license to operate.
You go now. Papa Luau will be alone. Go now.
All right, Mrs. Gordon, all right. Let's not stay for the music.
Could you make head or tail of what he said?
What goes into your husband's cabin?
Nothing but food and wine. Mostly wine.
Who fixes his meals?
I do. Our cook left us.
Yeah? Where does the wine come from? You said it was champagne, didn't you?
Yes. It always comes from the same place, a liquor shop in town, a case at a time. Nothing makes any sense. What are you going to do?
All I can do. Try every angle. But that's not all I'm going to try in that liquor shop. Expense account item 8, $4.50, 2 quarts of rum, the purchase of which helped loosen the tongue of the proprietor who had been supplying Ralph Gordon's champagne. And the words that poured out weren't exactly intoxicating, but they sent me staggering to the nearest phone.
Yes, hello.
Dr. Gordon, this is Dollar.
Good heavens, Dollar, I've been wondering about you. What have you learned?
Well, first tell me this. What would happen to a man if he was in a ship's cabin on a stormy night with all the portholes closed and there was a lot of dry ice in there with him?
What? What was that?
A small room, no ventilation, a lot of dry ice. A lush, maybe passed out. What would happen?
Good Lord. Dry ice is solidified carbon dioxide. If enough of it evaporated into the room...
The lush would not be bothered by a hangover the next morning because he wouldn't wake up, right?
Exactly. The gas, although not toxic, would force the oxygen from the atmosphere, and the result would be asphyxia. What are you getting at, Dollar?
Well, that curse your brother is suffering from is very scientific. The champagne he's been getting has been chilled by dry ice, about 5 pounds per case. One went out just before the storm broke.
Good Lord. It may be just coincidence, but Ralph's wife and that bosun...
Yeah, I know. For a bosun, he'd make a very good chemist. They sent for a pull motor. If it's too late for your brother, maybe I can use it. Hey, Cap, come on, will you?
Ahoy, sonny. Set up around, George, for my shipmate and me. This is rum weather, sonny.
Never mind around, Cap. You gotta row me out of that yacht again.
What? In this weather? I wouldn't ask old Neptune himself to set out on a night like this.
Come on, Cap. I'm in a hurry. Here's $20.
I want time off the horn. Oh, what did you say?
I didn't think it could rain any harder than it had been, but it did. Visibility was 0. But about 20 minutes out, Cap spotted her riding lights.
There she lies, sonny.
We were on target, but so was somebody else. A searchlight stabbed out at us.
Hey, this sounds like Prohibition days. Who's giving us the broadside?
I can't tell.
I'll lay a pelican hook over his head if I get my hands on him. Oh, Cap! I got my left leg.
Get down the bottom, Cap. I'm going over the side. There was nothing to do but swim, so I swam. I tried to remember how many shots had been fired, and that's where I made my mistake. There was a lull in the shooting, which I took to mean that the gun was empty, so I thrashed my way to the ladder. But when I got there, the first thing I saw after I'd shaken the water out of my eyes was the muzzle of a rifle. The face looking down the barrel at me belonged to Brother Thomas Gordon, M.D.
Sorry, Dollar. Killing you wasn't in my plan. But now it'll have to be done.
I was waiting for a bullet to come my way, but instead the doctor did.
Are you all right, Dollar?
I'll thank you later for spoiling his aim.
Forget it. That's me, big-hearted M.
Say, get a boat hook on the doctor. He's our prize fish. Don't let him get away. I grabbed a fire axe out of its case on my way to Ralph Gordon's cabin. If it needed ventilating, I knew one quick way to do it. I didn't check for oxygen. I took a deep breath, held it, and went in. The cabin was littered with wine bottles, and in one corner, in an open case, was the dry ice that was in the process of cooling Gordon off for good. He was stretched out on his bunk. I hefted him to my shoulder and used the last of my breath getting him out of there.
What's the matter with him?
Come on, help me to get him stretched out.
Right.
Come on, give me a hand, will you?
Yeah.
Maybe we can save a policyholder. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Expense account item 9, $30, cover charge at a hospital, where I put the revived Gordon under the care of a doctor, not his brother. His brother happened to be resting in a jail cell at the time, waiting the formal charge of attempted murder. Motive, the family fortune. Item 10, same as item 9. Same hospital where they patched up Cap Reagan. Item 11, $40. An ounce of voodoo perfume for the lovely but sometimes chilly Edwina. Maybe if she tries that kind of magic on her husband, he'll spend less time with the bottle joy and more with her kind. And expense account item 12, $148.70. Return trip to Hartford. Expense account total, $424.70. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar, stars Edmund O'Brien in the title role and is written by Gil Dowd and David Ellis, with music composed and conducted by Leith Stevens. Edmund O'Brien may soon be seen in the Columbia picture 711 Ocean Drive. Featured in tonight's cast were Earl Lee, Willard Waterman, Ted DeCorsia, Charlotte Lawrence, Lou Krugman, Byron Kane, Dick Ryan, and Clayton Post. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar, is produced and directed by Jaime Del Valle. Join us next week at the same time when, from Hollywood, Edmund O'Brien returns in another transcribed adventure of
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
There'll be a bright new show on CBS this Wednesday night. It's called The ABCs of Music, and the star is Robert Q. Lewis with Ralph Flanagan's orchestra. You'll find Robert Q. and Ralph Flanagan taking over while Bing Crosby is on vacation. So join them on most of these same CBS stations this Wednesday for The ABCs of Music. Beginning next week, yours truly, Johnny Dollar, will be heard at this same time on Thursday nights. Thursday nights for Johnny Dollar. This is CBS, where you hear suspense every Thursday night, the Columbia Broadcasting System.